Hello and welcome to chapter 6.1. This one's going to be on accounting. Oop, kind of messing up already. So yeah, financial services is what this one's about. 6.1 is going to be on choosing like what kind of account you're going to have. So if you look down here, you can read through this part here. It really just talks about how there's different types of accounts that we can have. Typically, they're going to be either a checking account or a savings account. I don't know if you like used your debit card or something. Usually, you have to put checkings or savings. That's what it's talking about. So there's different amounts of interest that are going to be interest and fees that are going to be associated with each different type of account. So yeah, let's get moving. Okay, so on the next page here, this is actually going to be the main page for the next few questions here, where you're going to use this Northwest Bank of Canada service packages. What it is these are different accounts that you can have. You could have a value account, a self-service account, a full service account, or a bonus savings account. Okay, so just go back a little bit here, though. I just want to make sure that you guys know that banks offer different services such as self-service via automatic teller machines, right? ATMs, you've probably seen those. And computer, like online payments. You can pay with, like on your phone usually, right? Just with the app. And then not self-service, but full service is at the bank with the help of a teller. So actually going into the bank. Less and less people you'll find do that nowadays. But yeah, still something. To use an ATM, you need a bank card and a number, right? Some kind of number that goes with it. All right, so if we look at these, I just want to show you so like I said, up at the top here, these are our different accounts across the top. There's those four. And then going down the side here, we've got our monthly fee. So apparently this value account is going to cost $3.90 just to have that open, right? To access their services, right? The self-service account. The self-service account is going to be $10.90. And it's only going to be for students and youth under 18. So you save 50% on the monthly fee. Oh, check that. Actually, sorry, it's going to be $10.90. And then students and youth under 18 save 50% on that. Right? So it's going to be half of that value. So $5.45. Okay, so if you're under 18. Okay, and then after that, we've got the full service account. So this is somebody who does a lot of like online banking. Maybe you pay for quite a lot with your debit card and not usually cash, that type of thing. You'd probably want a full service account and then pay that extra $24 every month just to have it, just so you don't get a lot of fees coming up. Okay, so then the next column down here says fee waived on minimum monthly balance. What that means is if you just hold $1,000 in your account, then you don't need to pay this $3.90. They're waiving it. The reason why they would do that is because banks actually make money by having your money. If they have your money, they're able to make money with that money. So they like having your money in there. So if you have $1,000 in there, they won't make you pay that measly $3.90. If you have at least $1,500 sitting in your bank, then you don't need to pay this $10.90. And then same with this. If you have $2,000 sitting in your bank, then you don't need to pay this $24.50. Okay, so what is this bonus savings account over here? It says no fee. Well, that's because these types of accounts, these savings accounts, aren't meant for you to be spending out of it. You're not going to be going to Tim Hortons with your money from your savings account, right? What you're going to want to be doing is saving that money. So you're not going to want to be spending that quite a lot. So there is no fee, so you don't need to have a certain amount in there to waive it. You can only use 2 debit transactions every month, right? That's all you're allowed to do because the idea is you want to keep that money in there. Yeah. Anyway, so let's go down to transactions covered by monthly fee. So this is things like writing a check, doing a withdrawal, paying a bill, debit purchases, so buying that thing at the drive-in or drive-in. Sound pretty old there. Transfers to other Northwest Bank of Canada accounts. So if you were transferring like from your bank to another one, something like that, right? Well, this one, the value account, 10 self-service transactions. So 10 of those down there, right? This one's 25, 40 self-service or teller assisted, no annual fee. So this one, 40 self-service or teller assisted in this one. And if you have a credit card, they won't charge you a fee for that. So they just throw in little bonuses for like these little different plans you can have, right? Okay. And then the next one down, charge for additional transactions not covered by monthly fees. So if you, let's say, do 12, or let's even just keep it easy and say do 11 self-service transactions, then you're going to be charged an extra 50 cents, right? So every time you go over, you're going to be charged an extra 50 cents. If you did, a teller assisted one, so you go in to see your teller at the bank, they're going to charge you $1 each time. Okay, and then this one is the same thing. If you go over these 25 self-service ones, they're going to charge you an extra 50 cents for each one. And then teller assisted ones, $1 too. This one's going to be 25 for the self-serve. Yep, and then this last one. Okay, and then last one here, just non-Northwest Bank of Canada ATM withdrawals. That'd be like if you went to, I don't know, a credit union or something, just some other bank and tried to take out money. Okay, and then interest, you're not going to be making any interest on these ones, right? Those are your checking ones. I think that's the way where they have it set up there. And then this one, your savings, daily interest, that's going to go up with your balance. So as you have more money in your bank account, you're going to actually be making money off that money. And we'll talk about a bit more about that in a bit here. All right, so okay, so you can look through the one on the last page there, or skip to where I'm at here. So the building your skills one starts and says, okay, use the Northwest Bank of Canada service package. Well, that's the one I have over here. Okay, so what we are going to do is kind of read each of these and then figure out how much that they're actually going to pay for that. So number one says, Frederick makes 2 direct deposits per month and pays 4 bills online. Last month, he also made 5 cash withdrawals and 10 debit purchases with his bank card. He maintains a minimum monthly balance of $15,000. Calculate his service charges for the month if he had a value account. So we are just looking at this column, right? The one right there. Okay. So now we just got to figure out how many. It's mostly these self-service things that he's doing. So we've got, well, these are all self-service things. We got 2, 4, 5, and 10. So let's just add all those together. So we got 2 plus 4 plus 5 plus 10, which is going to be equal to 21 different self-service charges, okay? So that's what we're starting with. How many does he get for the value account? Well, he gets 10 of them free. Well, that means that 11 of them then aren't free, right? So we have 11 different charges there that aren't free. Each of those 11 charges that aren't free, these self-service charges, cost him an extra 50 cents. So we just need to go 11 times... Sorry, baby was crying there. Okay, so we have to go 11 times 50 cents. So $0.50, which is that times that, which is going to be equal to $5.5. So $5.5, remember? What does that mean for $0.5? That's actually $5.50, right? Okay, so that's how much it would cost him. And then just make sure that, any extra charges, he might have had to pay the monthly fee of $3.90, but he didn't in this case because he maintained a minimum balance of $1,500. So since he had that in his bank account, that's over the $1,000 that he needs to have in there. So he doesn't have to pay that $3.90. So that's all he had to pay was $5.50. Okay, now if he had the self-service account, well, it's still going to be 21, right? But the self-service account pays for 25 of those. So in this case, he is not going to have to pay anything for his 21 charges that he had, in that one. And he maintained $1,500, right? That's all he had to do. So he didn't have to pay that $10.90 either. So in this one, this was actually free. He didn't have to pay anything that month for that account. Okay, so number 2 says Tom made 29 self-service transactions on his bank account last month. He kept a minimum balance of $900. So what would his service charges be if he had a bonus savings account? So, bonus savings accounts. We can move this over a little bit. Yeah. So, bonus savings accounts can have no fee and give 2 debit transactions free. So, really, that's still 27 transactions, though, that aren't going to be free. So, 27 is like his total transactions that aren't free. And then it costs him $1.25 for each of those. So, that times $1.25 is going to be equal to $33.75. So quite a lot for that one. He has the wrong plan for sure. Okay, the full service account. So I'm gonna get you guys to try this one, and then I'll show you if you get it wrong too. So go ahead and answer 2B now. Okay, 2B. So we've got 29 and then $900 left in there. So right off the bat, look at this $900 there. That's not the $2,000 that needs to be maintained in there. So we're going to start off with $24.50. That's how much he's going to pay for sure. So $24.50. That's a 4. Okay, and then we've got 40 self-service or teller-assisted. So 40 are covered now. So the only charge that he's going to have on this thing is just going to be this $24.50. So that's it. So it was actually cheaper for him to get the more expensive account in that one, right? Or for that one. All right, number 3. Okay, so I'm actually going to let you guys go ahead and do number 3 on your own here. Just watch though, because we've got 4 self-service deposits and 4 self-service withdrawals. But then it also says she visits a teller on 2 occasions. Those are different amounts that it's going to cost, right? So self-service ones, if she went over, right, was going to be 50 cents. Okay, before you do this one, though, I just want to kind of point out that so these transactions covered by the monthly fee, those are all self-service things, right? So it doesn't actually count her teller-assisted. So she's going to have to pay for those 2 teller-assisted things she did. And she won't have to pay for those 8 because, 4 plus 4 self-service ones, because that's covered in her 10 self-service ones. And then the other part of it you're looking at is the $1,000. Like, did she maintain $1,000 in there? No, she didn't. So how much is she going to owe? So yeah, go ahead and see if you can give this one a go. So go ahead and answer number 3 now. Okay, so you guys can look through this one. So now we've just actually got like somebody's actual spending in like a table like this. We've got transactions down the side, description of what it was, how much was withdrawn, or how much was deposited. So you can either take from the bank or deposit into the bank. And then it just starts out with the initial amount of money that was in there. The balance is what that's called, right? Okay. And then it says how much will own it. I don't know how to say that. Anyway, pay in extra transaction fees. So you'll need to look at your table. But for this one, I'm actually going to skip through this. You guys can read through the examples here if you like. There's just more examples of how they did it. And let's do this one. So it says use the Northwest Bank of Canada service, so the table that we have open here, to answer these questions. Fill in the balance column and calculate Mitra's balance at the end of the month if she has a full service account. So we are looking at full service account. So this one, right? That's the info that we're interested in. And we need to fill in all of these, right? Like, it seems like a lot of work, but it's actually not near as bad as you think. So what you got to do, start out with $1,798.53. So just go, so 1798.53. And then if it's a deposit, that's money going into your bank, right? So then you add that. So it's just going to be that. And then if it's adding, it's plus. So plus 1432.51. And that's equal to, and then that's the number that's going to go here after we deposit that. So 3,231.04. and then keep going down. So then the next one, just keep that number in your calculator, and it's a withdrawal, so we're going to subtract it. So minus 200 equals. So now we're going to be at 4, and then again just minus that. So minus 63.95. Okay, and those all should be dollar amounts too, right? Okay, so I'd like you guys to go ahead and keep going with this pattern. So just figure out how much is she going to have in the end. And the next part says fill in the balance for the column and calculate Mitra's balance at the end of the month if she has a full service account. So what we're after there, so since it's a full service account, pretty much we're looking for that $2,000. If it's over $2,000, she doesn't also have to subtract that. She doesn't also have to pay $24.50. So that's what you're looking at the end. So go ahead and answer number 4 now. Okay, number 5. Okay, and now for number 5, we're going to do the same thing actually, but just make sure you look and see that now we're looking at the value account. So value account. And what you're after is to figure out, okay, what is the value in the end here, right? If that value is more than $1,000, then he or she, probably he, doesn't need to pay this $3.90. If this is less than 1,000, then you'll also have to subtract this $30.90. So that's the way that would work. Okay, so go ahead and answer number 5 now. Okay, number 6. So calculate Noah's balance at the end of the month if he has a bonus savings account. So the one over here. Okay. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. But you'll just have to keep track that only 2 debit transactions, right? That's all you're allowed. There are quite a bit of debit transactions kind of happening over here, right? So how much are you going to take off there? So we've got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different transactions happening there. Only 2 of those are paid for. Each extra one is going to cost this much more. So you're going to subtract that off of there too. And this one doesn't actually really matter what you end up with a final number there, because there is no fee anyway, right? But you will have to figure out what the fee is, so you got to figure out what this is. So go all the way down, and then I'd say subtract off what your extra fees are going to be, right? Okay, so go ahead and answer number 6 now. Okay, so now doing these practice your skills one. So same thing, we're using this thing from Northwest Bank of Canada. So number 1 says, Georgia has an account that has no monthly fees. However, she must pay 50 cents for every self-service transaction and $2 for any full-service transaction. She made 8 self-service and 3 full-service transactions last month. What was her service charges? Okay, so this one isn't actually from this Northwest Bank of Canada service package sheet over here. This one, you can really just use the numbers to figure out what it is. So remember, just their service charges are like extra, right? So it's the things she's being charged for. So everything for that one should be right actually in the question. So I'm going to let you guys go ahead and answer number 1 now. Okay, number 2. Ralph has $2,675.32 in his self-service account. So self-service, it's going to be that one. If he makes 4 deposits and 6 withdrawals of $100 each during the month, what will his fees be? Okay, so for this one, we're just looking for what his fees will actually be, right? Not how much he'll have left or anything like that, but how much extra will he have to pay? So if he makes 4 deposits and 6 withdrawals of $100 each, well, so really he's making in the end 2 extra withdrawals, right? So he's spending $200 extra, if that made sense. Because if he puts 4 deposits of $100 in there, and then takes out 4, you'd be broken even, right? And then there'd be 2 more extra because 6 is 2 more than 4. So it'd be an extra $200, right? Is what's coming out of this. So we're gonna have this minus $200, and the whole reason we did that was to see, okay, are we still over this $1,500? And yeah, we would be there, right? So we're still, Rolf is still gonna have well in the 2000s there, so we'll be good there, and we get 25 self-service things. Okay, so I'll let you figure out number 2. I probably told you too much already. So go ahead and answer number 2 on your own now. Okay, number 3. Patrice is trying to determine what account he should open. Okay, he has about $3,500 that he can deposit. He estimates that he can save $500 per month to add to that. He regularly makes 3 online payments per month. He withdraws money from an ATM almost every week, an average of 4 times per month. He uses his bank card about 8 times a month to make purchases. Which would be the best for him and why? Show necessary calculations. So I'm going to let you guys answer number 3 on your own here. So using that info, which would be the most responsible one to do? And give him the most flexibility, I guess, is the other way of putting it. Okay, so go ahead and answer number 3 now. Okay, number 4. Okay, so this one is going to be similar to other ones we've done. I know it seems long, but like I said, you can do it pretty quick in your calculator there, right? So you're starting off with her original balance, and then, just make sure you keep track of how many different self-serve things she does. Maybe put like a tick on the side to show how many there are. But just watch out for the teller ones. They're going to be different, right? They're going to be teller assisted is going to cost her $1. Self-service costs her 50 cents each over that 10, right? She gets 10 free self-service. But the teller assisted ones are always $1, right? They're going to cost $1 every time. So go ahead and figure out how many of those there are. And then you're also going to just have to, subtract off all these numbers or add all the way down until you get to the bottom. So go ahead and calculate her balance at the end of the month after you've taken off the extra payments for the charges. So go ahead and answer number 4A now. Okay, 4B. Do you think this is the best type of account for her? Why or why not? So you can go ahead and answer 4B now. Okay, and then number 5, it's going to be one with a value account again. It's pretty much the same as before, but this time it's just kind of written out in words instead. So she's going to start off with that amount of money. There's going to be 3 ATM withdrawals. There's going to be full service payment of phone bill, bank card payments of that much, that much, that much, and that much. So those are all different ones, right? Different times that they're doing self-serve things. Direct deposit paycheck of this much, and online payment of her credit card bill of that much. Okay, so don't forget, if she doesn't make this $1,000, that you add $3.90 on to top of it too, right? Or I shouldn't say add, you're going to subtract because you're taking that away from her. So go ahead and apply all those things like we've done before and answer number 5 now. Okay, that's going to be it for 6.1. I'll see you guys in 6.2.